This is how to start using Excel. Let's open our Excel apps, and this is the display that will be shown once you have opened the Excel application. Here we have the blank workbook, and this is the templates which are recommended by Excel. There's also a tutorial on how to use it, drop-down tutorial, formula tutorial, and these are the recent projects or recent Excel files that you may have created if you have used Excel files before. So we have the home tab, and here we have a new. You can either select new if you're creating a new file or a blank workbook. So let's select blank workbook, and this is the Excel file. The first thing you need to do is to create a file name or save this into a file, so that anything you work or created in this workbook will be saved. Here we need to go to file and save. Now it will have this. Let's go to save. File and save, and we need to go to the folder that we want to place or save this file. Let's go to desktop, and let's get an sample table. Normally the suffix will be .xlxl or xlsx. Yes. Now we need to familiarize ourselves with this Excel workbook. This is an Excel file or an Excel workbook, which is comprised of a worksheet. This is a worksheet. We can also add another worksheet by just pressing this icon, which is new sheet. You can also insert a new sheet by right-clicking, hovering over the sheet, and right-clicking and select insert. This dialog box will be displayed. So let's insert worksheet. Click OK. So now you have sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. You can grab the sheet 3 to go into the third position or exchange position with sheet number 1 and sheet number 2. So it will be numerically arranged. Now here we have the tabs for the menu, which is the file, which goes back into this display, and we have the home button, which also has its own ribbons and commands: insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, and view. And here is the help button or help tab, which when you select, it can give you some help or support that you want to ask or information you need to research. This is the help button. You can type in your queries and it will direct you to the information that you are searching. Now let's go back to home. Here the workbook or the worksheet is comprised of a cell. This is one cell, and it's comprised of multiple cells. This number 1 to 9 or 10 numbers is called rows, and the letters A, B, C, D is columns. So the vertical part is column. This is A column, this is column B, and this is row, which is row 1, row 2, row 3. So each cell will have its own address. Here it's under the column A and row 1. So once you select it, it will be having a different address or name box, which is D4. So each individual cell has its own address. The columns is comprised of about 16,000 columns, and the rows may have until millions or 1 million or more for the rows. So if you want to go down, just press Control and the down arrow. It will guide you to the last row, which is 1 million something, and Control left or right arrow will direct you to the last column, which is XFD, which is about 16,000 columns. If you want to return back to the original location, which is the first cell. Just press Control and the home button, page up or home. Now we're back to the first cell, which is A1. Now here in this cell, you can type in or key in any data that you want. Let's say we want to create a table. First, we need to have the item number. So here we will type in item. Now the next column, we want to place in the description of the item. Now when the word has exceeded the space within the column, we can extend the column or stretch the column by hovering over the vertical line and selecting it, pressing the left mouse button and stretch it. Now on the third column, we will place the cell quantity. And here we will go and place cost. And now here we will provide this total cost. So now we have created our label for row 1 under different column. So if you want to adjust each column, will have its own width. So once you select here, right click and go to the column width. Once you select it, now the column width is 8.11. Let's set it to 10 so we can adjust the font width. And the description, we want to make the width larger, so let's right click on column width and let's set it to 20. Now the quantity will just maintain it as it is. The cost and total cost will change the width. So let's go to, you can select both columns by selecting one column and dragging it to the next column. Right click and select column width and set the width to 15. Click OK. Now if you want this label to be centered on each column, you can align it. So here we select, we'll pick the first cell and drag the mouse, the arrow or a cursor to the last cell, and here we have the alignment tool, which is centered. Let's select it and the text will be placed at the center. Now we can roughly place some data on the item number. Let's place this one is number 1 and the third column will be 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now again, select the first cell, drag it until you reach number 5 and select center, so it will be placed at the center. Now let's set in the description, let's set it socks, dress, shorts, shoes, and slippers. Now again, we can place it align it at the center, or we can maintain the alignment at the left side, or now we're going to select here and set it on the center. Now the quantity, let's say our quantity is 20, here is 30, and here is 12, 4 and 5. So now again, we'll have it centered, so let's select and select center. Now the cost, let's say the cost will be about 20. This one is about 25. This is about 30. And this is about 100. And the slippers will be about 190. Now again, we have to place it at the center. But first, we need to add in some decimal points to show that it is a cost. We'll select all this item and right click, and here in the format cells, we have the selection to select the category of this cell. So let's set this as number, and we have a decimal point, and we can also place a separate. Okay, and now we can set the center to place the text or the data at the center. Now we can also add in a formula. Let's copy this. Let's set this first as a number category. So format, number, separator, and 2 decimal places. Please copy and click the cell. Now we're going to place some formula. We're going to use the equal sign. Select this first cell and multiply it by selecting the shift asterisk or shift 8, and this is a multiplication formula, and select in a quantity and then press enter. Now we have created a simple formula for cost and multiplied by the quantity of the description sums. So this is the total cost that we have now. Once you have created one formula, just copy the selected cell, right click, copy, select the other cells you want to place in, right click and click paste P. It will automatically copy the formula here, but once you place it on the next cell, it will also follow the sequence that it will multiply this cost against this one. So now we have created our first table. We can also place some borders or lines just to show that this is our table. So let's do that. Let's select the range. This is called range from this corner to this corner. So once we select it, we can see that the range is 6 CR and 5 C. So we have 6 rows and 5 columns. Now the address will be from A1 to E6. So now let's create some borders. So let's right click and format cell. Here we go to the border and let's select. Here is the cells that we have. If this is the preview, we can select some lines. We'll place the lines on top, center, and bottom. On the side, center, and side. Click OK. Now we have these borders surrounding our data, and it looks like a simple table that we have created. Thank you.